Seattle Refined, he might be one of the nicest guys in Hollywood.
People always have a question about that. Oh, were you chased by a bear, they asked me. I said, in fact, no, although I've been in close proximity with bears in Yosemite. That's another story for another day.
We spend the day with Agent Cooper himself, Kyle MacLachlan. Plus, do not miss out on these donuts.
Okay, the jam ones are really good, but my solid favorite is lemon curd.
We popped into the local bakery where donuts aren't just snacks, they're a religion. And in today's Royal Wedding Watch.
All right, here it is, bangers and mash. I've never had this before in my life, but I've been told I'm supposed to smother it in this stuff.
We discover a taste of jolly old England right here in Western Washington. Seattle Refined starts now. Hi everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Guard Swanson. The Northwest has spawned some pretty big name actors over the years. Bing Crosby was born in Tacoma and grew up in Spokane. Chris Pratt hails from Lake Stevens. Patrick Duffy, the original man from Atlantis, graduated from Cascade High in Everett. And then there's Yakima's very own Kyle MacLachlan. MacLachlan first burst onto the scene writing a giant sandworm in the 1984 David Lynch sci-fi epic Dune. He'd collaborate with Lynch again in the creepy classic Blue Velvet, and as Agent Cooper on TV's groundbreaking Twin Peaks. And women around the globe fell in and out of love with him as Charlotte's less than charming prince on Sex and the City, and Marcia Cross's murderous husband Orson on Desperate Housewives. But there's a lot more to MacLachlan than what you see on screen. Refined's John Prentice traveled to Walla Walla to find out what makes this Hollywood veteran tick.
Walla Walla, Washington is famous for onions, apples, and...
What are you planning on doing this weekend?
Drinking a lot of wine.
We're here for Walla Walla to go wine tasting.
What's your opinion of Kyle MacLachlan?
I am excited. I love Kyle MacLachlan.
Actor Kyle MacLachlan may be famous around the world for his roles on TV and the silver screen, but around here he's known for something else. Kyle is a winemaker.
Why do you love wine so much?
Wine is just about people. It's about people coming together. For example, today, you and I would never have met, and now we're sharing a glass of wine.
This is fun.
Doing an interview. It's about sharing. You know, it's about conversation. It's about a story.
And Kyle's story started here in Eastern Washington.
Growing up in Yakima, I participated in the plays and in the musical that was happening at my high school. And when I went to college at the University of Washington, I also was involved a little bit in the theater community there, but it wasn't really my focus.
What would you consider your big break?
The big break, I guess, would be being cast in Dune, which was in 1983, and also directed by David Lynch. That's where our relationship began, creative relationship and the friendship.
Long live the fighters!
Surprising number of people also come up to me for some of my early work in Blue Velvet, and then there's fans that follow Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or How I Met Your Mother, so a little bit of everything, but I think first and foremost it would be Twin Peaks, certainly with the reboot.
This is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
People, you know, get a big kick out of it.
Sam, check with Donna, see if she's got that guitar in her office.
And who could forget Kyle as the mayor of Portland?
Portlandia was like a dream come true because not only did it bring me back to the Northwest and to Portland, a city I also love, but I got to work with Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein and the director John Kreisel. And they are all just brilliant performers and the nicest people you could possibly imagine.
Kyle says he loves acting, but he's loved wine for even longer, and becoming a winemaker was just the next logical step in his relationship with the stuff.
And that started it in 2005. Smells all right. The first wine, the Cabernet, I called it Pursued by Bear. And people always have a question about that. Oh, were you chased by a bear, they asked me. I said, in fact, no, although I've been in close proximity with bears in Yosemite. That's another story for another day. But it was really, it's a stage direction from The Winter's Tale, one of Shakespeare's plays. The entire stage direction is exit pursued by a bear. And the actor is, as it said, is chased off stage by a bear, and he meets sort of an untimely end. But it felt kind of appropriate to me that there was an actor represented and he was actually being pursued by something. And I've always felt that the bear sort of represented the wine.
And Kyle says this pursuit has led him to an unexpected place, home in Eastern Washington.
What's happened with the wine journey is that I've suddenly returned to a place and I see it with completely different eyes. Not only do I reconnect with the people here, and I've made an entirely new community of friends here within the Walla Walla wine world, all just fantastic people, but I'm able to be an ambassador of sorts. So when I return to my home in New York City or Los Angeles, I spread the good word of Washington wine and how wonderful it is over here on the east side.
So not only are you an actor,
Yes.
you're a winemaker,
Yes.
and you're also a dad, right?
Yes, I am.
How gratifying is that? I'm going to be a dad soon. So
Are
I need
you
some
really?
advice.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations.
Tell me what you know.
Wow, it is the greatest journey of life. It will open your heart to things that you didn't even realize that you could feel. And I felt that in my case, the bond with my wife, which was already strong and wonderful, just added another dimension.
Kyle says life is beautiful, Washington is beautiful, and Washington wine is beautiful. But how does it taste? Time to find out.
Well, I have to say, that's a damn fine glass of wine.
I was expecting you to say that. We'll finish this bottle and get on to the next one.
John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
In addition to making wine, MacLachlan hasn't given up his day job. He is busier than ever. His next film, The House with a Clock in Its Walls, co-starring Cate Blanchett and Jack Black, is due out in September. Looks pretty scary. And speaking of movies, some of Hollywood's funniest Golden Girls are hitting the theater this weekend in the new rom-com book club starring Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, and Diane Keaton. But is it worth the price of the ticket? Don't miss our Refined review this Thursday. Seattle Refined is just getting started. Turn your grocery shopping into a party.
I always meet people I know, so I like to come down to socialize.
We take you on a tour of one of Seattle's coolest farmers markets. But first, sick of having the same thing for lunch at the office every day? We'll show you the new service offering hundreds of choices for just $6. Welcome back to the show. I'm Guard Swanson. I think I mentioned before, I'm always looking for a new spot to grab lunch. And I have to admit, I'm intrigued by something called Meal Pal. Meal Pal bills itself as a subscription lunch service. It's already hugely popular in New York and London. It allows working guys and gals access to more than 150 of the city's best restaurants for less than $6 a meal. And better yet, when you go to pick it up, you get to skip the line. If you want to learn more, log on to the website. And while you're there, check out the new food truck we found. It definitely sounds phenomenal. It's called Peasant Food Manifesto, and it specializes in Vietnamese-inspired fare, including pho tacos, pho French dip, and kimchi mac and cheese. This one I definitely want to check out. If you want to check out some of the best donuts in the city, I have two words for you. General Porpoise. Fans of the donut and coffee shop swear by renowned chef Renee Erickson's fried confections. And as Refine's Brandon Bernstead discovered, the popular brand is on the move.
It's warm and inviting, this bright, airy space in Pioneer Square. The kind of place that makes you want to sit down and stay a while. But that's not why they come to General Porpoise. It's the smell that draws people here. The smell of coffee and fresh donuts.
The jam ones are really good, but my solid favorite is lemon curd.
And I really like that it's just like a simple, airy flavor to it and texture, and the coffee's really good too.
James Beard Award winner Renee Erickson is one of Seattle's most celebrated chefs, but she didn't plan on being in the donut business. General Porpoise started out of necessity, a way to fill an unused space adjacent to her acclaimed steakhouse, Bateau, on Capitol Hill.
I kind of seeing the neighborhood develop, we kind of just were like, why don't we open donut shop?
One donut shop quickly became three, with two more on the way, including her first California location in Pacific Palisades. That success is due in large part to the donuts themselves, sugar-coated and filled, a recipe inspired by Renee's travels to London and perfected by her and her team.
I really focus on trying to be really simple and you know, use the most local and you know, fresh ingredients as possible. And this blended to that, where we could have one donut that never changed, that we could perfect, and then change the fillings as the seasons went along.
The menu is concise. 3 staple flavors: vanilla custard, lemon curd, and chocolate marshmallow. and 2 that rotate based on the seasons.
You want to buy what is now, so rhubarb, and then we're going to roll into strawberry, and then it's just like a free-for-all with fruit over the summer.
They're all made in a most unlikely place, the Amazon spheres. In their kitchen at the base of the spheres, pastry chef Katie Smith and her team turn out as many as 1,600 General Purpose donuts a day. Everything is made from scratch.
We do all the donut fillings in-house, so all the jams are made here, all the vanilla creams, everything's made here.
Naturally, I've got to do a taste test. I'm going with their top seller, the vanilla custard. First bite of a General Purpose donut here, and I'm gonna go after this thing. Oh my God. It's unbelievably delicious. It's unlike any donut I've ever tasted before. A sugar-coated, custard-filled bite of pure happiness. Just like Renee, Katie, and the whole team want it to be. So good.
We put a lot of love into it. I know that's very cliche to say, but we do. Like, my team back here is happy. The people you meet at the cafes are happy. So that translates to a great product.
For Seattle Refined, I'm Brandon Bernstead.
Do you have a favorite donut or coffee joint you think Refined should try? Drop us a line at hello@seattlerefined.com and let us know. Coming up on Refined, it's not unusual to get excited about this guy coming to town. Plus, we found the perfect spot to get in the spirit for this weekend's royal wedding, and it's right here in Western Washington. Here at Seattle Refined, we never get tired of hearing from you. Like us on Facebook, tweet us your story ideas, or shoot us an email telling us what you want to see on the show. You can find our inbox at hello@seattlerefined.com. Seattle Refined will be right back. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Guard Swanson. There's magic in the air in Seattle tonight, probably because of this guy. Magician and illusionist extraordinaire David Blaine performs at the Paramount Theater tonight. Blaine is, of course, famous worldwide for his jaw-dropping stunts, like being encased in a block of ice in Times Square. At last check, you could still snag some tickets. Another famous David is getting ready to rock Seattle. Talking Heads frontman David Byrne brings his American Utopia tour to the Paramount May 24th. At 66, the avant-garde singer and artist is still going strong. And undergarments will be flung when Tom Jones swings into the Paramount on June 1st. What can you say about this Welsh crooner that hasn't already been said? Jones rocketed to fame in the 60s with his hits like What's New Pussycat and It's Not Unusual. If you got tickets, I'm officially jealous. Here's something you may not know. Tom Jones isn't just a great singer, he's also a knight of the British Empire. Queen Elizabeth bestowed the honor on him back in 2006. Of course, the Queen has her hands full this week preparing for the royal wedding of Harry and Meghan. I think it's safe to say Saturday's royal shindig at Windsor Castle will be the wedding of the year. Commemorative doodads celebrating the big day are flying off the shelves in London, including this gag gift. Take a close look. That's the wrong ginger next to Meghan on that plate. That's actually singer Ed Sheeran. The royal wedding buzz has folks here in Western Washington pretty excited too. John Prentice has that part of our refined royal coverage.
For more than 40 years, the British Pantry in Redmond has been a one-stop shop for all things UK. From seemingly all the tea in China to all the China in Britain. Meat pies, spotted dick in a can, and freshly fried authentic fish and chips. Alvia Redmond is co-owner and says if it's from across the pond, they most likely have it.
My dad moved us here for Boeing in '66. My mother started the business, and she used to live above her father's bakery and grew up in it and realized there was a lot of expats and they wanted this type of food.
The British Pantry was born, and among the first customers, Mildred Mitchell.
How long have you been coming here? Since before it was built. I've been coming here over 40 years. What keeps you coming back? The food, and then the cakes. The cakes all, and I have to take home the beef onion pies. They're my favourite.
This is lovely. It is really like coming home and going in a little old-fashioned shop.
And this shop has been very busy as of late, thanks to these two.
The wedding Boeing. A lot of people coming in and ordering their tarts and different things because they're doing their own parties.
My American friend and my British friend are coming at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're having champagne, and I'm buying my sausages here, and we're having an English breakfast when the wedding's over.
It's a big thing, and people camp out for days, and I just wish I was going to be there.
The royal wedding will be on the telly at the British Pantry all day long. And while you're there, be sure to browse their royal knickknacks. Sample an English beer, which is not warm by the way, and pair it with some bangin' bangers and mash.
All right, here it is, bangers and mash. I've never had this before in my life, but I've been told I'm supposed to smother it in this stuff. So let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
So, if you need to stock up on HP sauce, English candies, haggis, or just sample some of the best fruitcake I've had in my life, the British Pantry is the place to go. And we hear the tea isn't bad either.
The tea, absolutely marvelous.
John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
Do you have big plans for Saturday's royal wedding? Drop us a line at hello@seattlerefined.com and let us know. And tomorrow on Refined, hats off to this royal headgear. We'll show you why we're fascinated by fascinators. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. One of the best things about spring is the weather. It is fantastic for exploring the city. And when I'm out and about, I definitely plan on visiting some of our area's many farmer markets. There are so many of them. And one of the most popular ones just opened for the season in Seattle's Columbia City. Chrissy Goranson is there to show us around.
My next stop in Seattle is the popular Columbia City Farmers Market. For close to 20 years, this market has been providing the surrounding neighborhood with a huge variety of Washington-grown products. I met with the executive director, Chris Curtis, to learn about the goals of this market and how it got started.
We're going to have a critical mass of farmers here every week. The majority of the vendors are going to be farmers, and you're going to be able to buy direct from farmers everything that's grown in Washington State. So that was our goal from the beginning, and we've been able to meet that goal every week, every year since then.
I asked Chris to explain why farmers markets are vital to an urban community.
It kind of bridges a gap between rural and urban, and an important gap. I mean, customers and farmers get to know each other really well, and they see each other's families grow up. I mean, it's a wonderful connection that happens here at a farmer's market.
What are some of the more popular foods that you have here?
Well, this is still spring, so we're just now starting to see some of the early summer crops come in. Well, this is the first day for cherries and berries, and those are both iconic Washington State crops.
As Chris and I were walking through the market, I spotted someone I knew.
Well, look who I found. This is Dave from Kittitas Valley Greenhouses, and we found your booth here at Columbia City, so you're all set up and ready to go, and it's been pretty busy, I saw earlier.
Oh yeah, we're one of the most popular booths here, I'd say.
What would you suggest? So we have some of the smaller ones that I think I would like to try.
Yeah, the cherries are definitely my favorite. Sweet Baby Girl.
This
great
one here?
taste, great name.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I'm gonna try one of those.
There you are. What do you think?
It's so good. Can I try one of these?
Go for it, yeah.
Sun Sugar?
Sun Sugar.
Awesome. Well, thanks and good luck. We'll let you get back to work and
working hard.
see you at the market.
Thanks so much.
Next, I talked with some regular market goers to hear why they like to visit this market.
I always meet people I know, so I like to come down to socialize. And there are certain items that I can only get here.
Really?
I don't make pies, so I can come down if I want pie. And I've seen breads that are to die for. And the vegetables and the fruits are outstanding.
And I've been coming to this farmer's market for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know so many of the farmers here. So it's great because, you know, they're here from May to September, October. Then they're gone for the winter. And so it's like when you come back, it's sort of like seeing your family again.
Yeah.
So it's great. I love it.
Look for more stories like that one from our friends at Washington Grown every Wednesday here on Refined. All right, that's going to do for today's show. I'm Guard Swanson. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you right back here on Seattle Refined.